Right, 10:40 here on The Big Debate. Let me read this email out to you. Kala is the word for black. Just like you would describe a person of that colour as black in the English language, which is acceptable, you would use the same word in whatever language. It all depends what context it is used in. For example, if it was followed by a swear word, then that could be said as being derogatory. On its own, I do not feel it's racist. Do you agree? Is that a fair comment, or is that something that you've got an issue with? I'd like to know what you think on this. You don't have to be a cricket fan to have a thought and opinion on this today. We're talking about whether Pakistani cricket captain Sarfraz Ahmed should be charged by the ICC for calling another player Kala. This email here says, on its own, the word Kala is not racist, but if it was being followed by a swear word, then clearly it would be. But in this case, because the person is black, therefore it's not racist. Do you agree with that? Or is that something that this is the problem, that we have this mentality? 81869, send us a text, or better, give us a ring, 03459 440 445. Like I said, you don't need to be a fan of cricket to have an opinion on this. Going to come to Sangeeta Bandi, who's a businesswoman on a better line now. But then also, let's go to Azizaz Hussain first of all, who's a poet. Morning, Azizaz. Now, clearly as a poet, words are something that you specialise in. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think to be honest, it is casual racism, but I also just think it's poor behaviour. And I think a big part of it is it's just a generational thing. Like I said, I think all relatives of mine coming from a South Asian community, they use words like Gala a lot. But me personally, obviously being born and growing up in multicultural London, I'm just not exposed not just to Asian people like my older generation were.
Sorry to interrupt you for a sec, but are you on a speakerphone, or are you in like a wind tunnel or something?
Oh yeah, one sec. Hear me now?
Much better. Right. Much better there. Okay, no, thank you very much for that. So, just saying it a point again, because it was quite difficult to hear from you.
Yeah, sure thing. I think, to be honest, it is like casual racism, but I also mainly think it's poor behaviour on Sarfraz's part. I think being a generational thing, the old generation think it's very easy to just fling words like Kala around and as if it's nothing, and they've grown used to that. But me personally, growing up in a multicultural London, not being just exposed to only Asian
casual racism.
Yeah, I do think it is casual racism, and I do think it needs to be pulled up on.
Can you explain what you mean by casual racism a little bit more?
Well, to be honest, obviously using words like Kala in such a casual manner and you not even realising that you're being racist, I do think that's casual racism. Like, if I would say in English, oh, look at that little black boy, or, using the colour of their skin in a derogatory manner, that for me is casual racism, and it doesn't need to be shouted at someone. It doesn't need to be in an aggressive manner. If you're saying it right next to someone, or if you're whispering at someone, that for me is casual racism.
So how do you then describe someone as black without using the word Kala if you don't speak English and you're trying to explain something?
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's the other side to it, because it's on the flip side of it. It's like, say, for example, Gora. Obviously in Urdu or Hindi or Punjabi, that means white, doesn't it? And we use that to refer to white people. But in the context of how he said it to someone, to obviously put them down and to use the colour of their skin again, to try and humiliate them or degrade them and make them feel as if they're subhuman, I just don't think that's acceptable.
Okay, so what do you do then? If you think it's casual racism and you hear the older generations using it, bandying about in this casually racist way, do you ever call them up on it?
I do, to be honest, or my family anyway.
What do you say?
I just say, well, why do you need to refer to them by their skin? Why didn't you just call them by their name? Or what's the point? Does race and colour of the skin matter nowadays? Does it really matter? Obviously, we're living in a multicultural society, and obviously more and more races migrate to different countries every day. So you're not just living with the same colour of the skin anymore. I just think we need. I just think it's an opportunity to be better.
And when you say this, what do your older family members or whoever it is, what do they say back?
Well, some of them laugh, or some of them actually take it into account, and they start to reduce the usage. But obviously, it would take time, and you have to be patient with this sort of thing. But like I said, it's an opportunity to be better and just to teach people that this doesn't need to be this way. We can be better.
Let me know what you think on what Azizas is saying there. Are we casually racist in our communities, and we need to take this more seriously? Let me know your thoughts. 81869 had a WhatsApp saying, simply put, the world is getting soft. We're getting way too protective over what words can and can't be said. Context is a huge factor in this case. Let me know. I want to explore this a little bit more. Are we just getting way too soft now in this world when it comes to what words can and can't be said? Or is this basically a case of we just understand more what should and shouldn't be said? 03459440445. Let me know your thoughts here. Sangeeta, going to come back to you in a moment, but let's speak to Varun from India. Morning, Varun. Don't think we've got Varun yet. We're going to give Varun a moment. He's got in touch with us from India, so we'll speak to Varun in a moment. But Sangeeta, are we getting too soft now and just policing what words can and can't be said too much?
There is a yes and no in this. It's not a straightforward answer. What I was trying to say, what I want to say is, if we have a list of words that are correct, and we do have them, which we actually train people on in corporates, etc., why cannot we introduce these terms as well, just because they are of Asian origin or that, that's why do we avoid them for that reason. So if we have a list which says you cannot use these words publicly, privately, wherever, we're all good. There are certain words we can't use anymore.
Let's go back to Varun now. No, we're not going back to Varun, unfortunately. I think there is a little bit of an issue there. Azizaz, do you think there is a list then, that, as Sangeeta's saying, that, of words that we just shouldn't be using and it's constantly updated? I think we've lost Azizas there as well. Right, let's read this WhatsApp message out here, which says, what was the exact sentence where he used the word? This is a typical example of us as Asians. I think every Asian person has referred to someone as a Gora or a Kala with and without meaning it as an insult. When talking to another Asian person, we are racist. Ethnically speaking, if I have to talk about a black person, I tend to describe them as African. Personally, I don't feel comfortable using colour as a description. Thank you very much for that WhatsApp. That opens up another can of worms, doesn't it? What if they're not African? What if they're from somewhere else where there's black people? What if they're from the West Indies? Or what if they're just born, down the road from you and they take offence to you calling them African? There is another term there, isn't there? Let me know your thoughts on that, 81869. Right, let's try one more time for Varun. Good morning, Varun. How are you? I think we've lost Varun. I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a quick track there and then we're going to see if we can get Varun back. But I want to know your thoughts on this. 10:47 here on the programme. Do we have a problem with casual racism in our communities? 10:50 here on The Big Debate, trying to talk to Varun there. It was like being back in the 90s when you have to talk to your grandmother back at home, something like that, because I remember that all the time. Like, my dad would be like, yeah, talk to your dadu, and I'd be like, okay, fine, hi, dadu. Be a pause. It's like the phone line literally is going all the way over to India. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to speak to Varun. But thank you so much for listening and your messages. Keep them coming in, Varun. Right, let's speak to Nadeem, who's called in from Walsall. And then we're going to go to Adnan from Yorkshire. Morning, Nadeem. How are you?
Morning. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Still chuckling about trying to get in touch with Varun. But what can you do? It is like literally being back in the 90s, eh?
I'll make your life easy.
Yeah, go on, then.
Right. I'm a cricketer myself, right?
Batsman or bowler?
Yeah, I'm a bowler.
Fair enough.
But when we're playing, and during the match, we fail, I've played against black people, white people, Asians, everyone. And yes, we do exactly the same thing what he said on the field, but he didn't say in a racist way. If somebody, if he's a black player playing, I would say Kala.
You would?
If he's yeah, I would say, but not in a racist way. It's just because he's Kala, simple. And when I was bowling, and people have come up, they said, P or brown or whatever. I know they never meant in a racist way. It's just because I'm brown, so what? I'm brown. It's. But has anybody?
What do you get out of calling him black?
No, it's because he's black. It doesn't mean it's nothing to do with color. It's just it's easier to recognize or.
It is to do with colour, though, because you're calling him black, so it's got everything to do with colour, Nadeem.
But it's I'm not saying in a racist way.
What does that mean? I'm not saying it in a racist way. It doesn't matter if you intend it or not. What's coming out and what other people take to us as from it is that this has been racist.
Okay, just explain me this. A lady came earlier, she uses the P word, right? And you apologize to everybody, right? But now, how many times we have used this Qala word? And you haven't apologized to anyone, have you? It's because it's not a racist word. Depends in what way you think.
Exactly. In that sense, I understand what you're saying there, but the thing is, this is what we're debating. We're not saying one way or other. What we're saying is, should he be charged by the ICC for calling another player Qala? And many people have called up and said, in the context, it is racist and he should be punished, and you're saying that it's not. And that's basically the debate, and that's what we're doing.
Hopefully sometime today he will release his statement anyway, and I can guarantee you he will say that I never meant in a racist way. You know, it's just in general, I was playing, and because I can get another thing, if he was a Gora player, he would have said Gora.
Is that good enough? Is that good enough, Nadeem?
But it's not nice. He should understand that as well. You know, he's playing international cricket. You know, he's representing Pakistan. You know, etc. But he should be careful himself. But I can guarantee he will come out and say, "I apologize if I have hurt anybody." Blah blah blah. But I don't think we should take it to that level and get into all this racism. Or there's much more out there that we need to look into rather than looking into these little things.
What about the term Gora then? You don't think that's offensive at all?
Look, if I'm saying in a racist way, then yes, it's wrong.
What's a racist way?
You know, you can tell. You know, if somebody's saying P word to me in a racist. I mean, I have white friends. They call that word. I don't get offended because I know they're not meant in a bad way. You know, when we're joking around, you know, use that word. That's fine.
Nadeem, I understand what you're saying there, but a lot of people will be like, yeah, they might think it's a joke, but it made me feel uncomfortable. Anyway, Nadeem, stay there for a moment because I've got Adnan on the line waiting, but Ace wants to come back in here, the poet that we've got to chat to you on this. Ace, what's your thoughts for Nadeem?
I just think you need to stop making excuses for poor behaviour. You need to be better. And I understand that you've been used to that. You can say Qala, and a lot of people say it, but especially my friends or people, young people like me, we just feel uncomfortable with that. And I just think you need to stop making excuses for that. And you can't be saying it. You can't be making it in a jokey manner. If you want to sledge someone, if you want to do sledging, do it regarding their actual technical ability. Why do you need to bring race into it? Why do you need to bring someone's skin colour into it? What's the point?
Okay, answer for that is, look, if I'm using the word Qala, I would not use the word in public. I would not use the word front of 100 people. I would only use to somebody who I know well, I understand well, or I know he's not going to get offended. I would not use the word, openly out loud to every single person. No, I wouldn't do that. It's only people.
Well, he did it on an international scale. This is an international match.
Well, exactly.
Thousands of people watching.
Whatever he's done is wrong. But I think we should wait for his statement as well. If he said, look, I never said in a racist way, then that's it, job done.
Didn't he release a video? And apparently he deleted that. Am I correct in saying?
I don't know that, Ace, but we'll get that clarified for you. Ace, though, I've got a WhatsApp message that I want to read to you, and I want you to respond to this. This WhatsApp says, definitely all about context. There's no difference with you saying black man on your show and me saying Qala. People need to stop being such precious little flowers. That's from Jamie in Ipswich. Ace, are you being a precious little flower here?
Not really, but I understand this whole snowflake generation conversation. That's another conversation for another day. But obviously, I'm looking at it from two sides. But in the context of this manner, I'm just being serious. I'm just looking at it from any perspective that should be looked at. It's obvious. It's obvious that it was wrong. It's obvious that he shouldn't have said that. And it's obvious that we should be better.
Look, how many times we have used the Qala word now? But
why do you
apologize? Because we all know that we are not saying in a racist way. That's for no mind. That's the whole point.
Let's go to Adnan, who's been waiting. Adnan, what are your thoughts on this, based on what Ace and Nadeem have said?
Good morning, Qasa.
Morning.
I've listened, obviously, throughout the whole show, and I agree with... I think it's... I don't know who's said which points, but what I'm trying to get at is... I was watching the game, obviously, when it took place, and I, as a spectator of watching it on TV, caught it crystal clear when he used the word Qala, right? Now, me and my mates picked up on that straight away. We were like, wait a minute, did he really just say that? And he's like, Yeah, he did. And we were kind of saying, like you mentioned, in the post-interview, were they going to pick up on that, or did he not realise what he said? At the end of the day, I agree in context where this was on an international scale, an international game, not a friendly game as this, an international game which matches out on your scores and your stats and everything, right? Whether you're playing this game indoors or whether you're playing it outdoors, you do not use colour as a referendum to someone. And saying colour blatantly on TV, especially as well, it is, unfortunately, a racist term. I know somebody recently, Qasa, in a domestic game, in a county domestic game, had been suspended until further investigation for using the word Gora in a game against another opposition. And that was the umpire who was an opener who then reported it and had him suspended off the team.
Wow, that is interesting there. 81869, got a couple of minutes. What are your thoughts on that, really? The word Gora apparently being said and then suspending someone. What are your thoughts on that? Right, Nadeem, final point. Adnan thinks it is racist.
Well, I don't think it's racist at all. It depends in what context it's said. So, I mean, we have, you mentioned earlier, again, India, Australia games and all sorts. But so many things have happened in the past, and his bad luck that he got caught on the
bad luck. Bad luck.
Yeah, well, I think I'll wait till his statement on that. If he said yes, I deliberately said it, that's wrong.
But he did. He was sledging. He was sledging.
Look, either way, it's wrong. He shouldn't have said that. But what we just need to understand is that in what content he said. If he said in a racist way, then yes, it's wrong. He should, they should ban him, whatever they're going to do. But if he said, look, I didn't say in a racist way, or I apologize, whatever, then I think it's just giving a chance. Next time if he says, then first time it's a mistake, second time it's not a mistake. They should be charged for it.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Just for a bit of context there, thank you very much for your calls and your texts, Adnan and Nadeem. Just for a bit of context to find what he said, we're gonna find what he actually said, the whole line in itself on the programme here, and then come back to you with exactly the line that he said on the programme, and then we'll clarify exactly what he said here on the programme. But still want your thoughts, and there's plenty coming up on the programme. 03459 440 445 or text me 81869 with your thoughts here.
This is the British Asian Sound on BBC Sounds and Digital Radio.
BBC Asian Network.